Welcome back to the OPL Saturday 4 Round 6. My name is Michael Hinginsing, and I'm joined here by Destiny and also Choo Choos. If you're just joining us, TM have gone down 0-2 against Abyss, who have now picked up some points and are steadily climbing the ladder after a win over AV last week. A loss to Legacy, now a win over TM. But now we're about to get to AV taking on Chiefs. An exciting time for all involved, Destiny.
Yeah, also, I'm sorry I just cut you off, but if Chiefs 2-0 this game, I think that means Abyss will be have very good chances to come 4th seed going into the gauntlet.
Ooh.
So I know that they are going home now, praying that Chiefs 2-0 this match.
I see, absolutely, because every point matters in this new system where you get bonus points for 2-0ing people. Let's take a quick look at these teams then, shall we? Because both teams absolutely need to win this, because obviously AV were unlucky last week against Abyss. And Chiefs were, well, I wouldn't say unlucky, but the Chiefs lost against Legacy last week as well.
Yes, they did.
It's pretty rough too. They were up a couple
I'm just saying both teams need points right now to prove themselves, especially if you're Chiefs, right? I mean, this is a dynasty that is well established in the League of Legends OSO esports, and it appears this split has been shaky for them. I do want to also talk about something else. I feel like, do you guys think that maybe nerves are getting to Chiefs at this point?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely. Like, as you said, this is the first split, or last split really, but they haven't been champions for a long time.
They haven't won the regular season in a long time. They never won regular season last year. That was dominated by Legacy up until the finals, and then last split we won. So I feel like regular season.
We remember.
Yeah,
right?
I remember.
Yeah, but it just makes you think. Like, I mean, especially watching the game yesterday. Last week versus Legacy, you can definitely see not picking up the Rift Herald and just.
Well, to be clear, what happened was Spooks Chiefs killed the Rift Herald. Spooks didn't pick up the Rift Herald buff.
Yes.
So that's a pretty big mistake.
Well,
just to give some quick background, they got top tower and they traded Mountain Dragon for top tower and Rift Herald. So that's a great trade for Chiefs.
Yeah.
Only issue is he didn't pick up like the glowing purple massive buff on your screen when you kill the objective. So it was and if they did pick up that buff, that game probably would have opened the map up for Swiffer, who was playing LeBlanc. They would have got tier 1 mid, and that game probably would have been a lot different.
Yep, the game would have been completely different if he just picked up the Rift Herald, used it, and that it could have changed the entire game for them.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we talk about these as like being little mistakes that are presumably easy to fix, right? Coach just is in there being like, pick up the buff, But the thing is, this isn't the first mistake Spooks has made with the Rift. Even when he picks up the buff, he's dropped it in the jungle before, and then it just goes down and eats Swiffer's farm. You know what I mean?
I would really like to think that he's prepared and he's refined his Rift Herald.
You know what the thing is? Well, you know what the thing is? You can't always Rift Herald in the practice tool. That's what the problem is. You know what I mean?
You can't.
Well, you can, but I mean, like, usually Rift Herald, you're not soloing it. It's a very sad sight to see someone soloing the Rift Herald. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes a while.
I'm sure he's fixed it.
Yeah.
Like,
all right.
Yeah. Like fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Come on, Sam. Like, let's do this.
Hey, Shern walked over a bard portal yesterday, so
that's true. Everyone makes mistakes.
Everyone makes mistakes.
I've certainly made my fair share. Going back as well to Legacy versus Chiefs. Chiefs early game 3.5k gold, 4k gold leads, which they fell away. So it's not like their games aren't perfect, right? Their games are going well because they are. They're obviously not perfect because they're losing. But I mean, their games have good portions to them because they are taking these early game leads.
Yeah, they've been playing. I think their early laning stage has been very good. I think they just had a bit of miscommunication, and maybe it is nerves coming in from the shot calling roles. But it just makes you question: have they fixed these potential internal issues? Because a team that has been at the top for so long, going back and making these issues, that you would think Chiefs are probably one of the strongest macro teams in the OPL, and they're making these kind of issues, making these kind of errors. So it really makes you think how they're going to come into today.
Yeah, today especially because Gauntlet's coming up. They need to get the highest seed. They need to show that they're still a top contender, and I feel like a 2-0 versus AV today will lead up to that. And touching on like players having nerves and underperforming, I think Swiper has actually been underperforming for the team. And he hasn't, even though it's tank meta, I feel like he isn't offering the role that he used to with the TP flanks and the dives bot. It's just, I don't feel like it's happening. I feel like the team's relying on Swiffer and Raze to carry.
It's interesting because I know traditionally Swiper's TP play is like significantly better than other top laners in the league. Certainly historically that's true. Recently, obviously, with people in gaming houses, everyone's catching up to everyone. It's harder to maintain that lead. I know. For example, Spawn will probably argue and correct you later on and defend his boy Swiper later on, because I know he's very vocal about the fact that he's not something he's very, very good. But you mentioned Raze and Swiffer carrying. Let's talk about Raze, shall we? Because this guy started off the split with a couple of pentakills.
Pentakills.
And now he's going up against Blinky, who I think has had a shaky split as well.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Blinky has been resorted to the utility bot, the bow champions, which is Ashe and Varus. And you can see it from the stats because he has a higher kill participation than Raze. But I feel like the clear difference between the two players is the champions. Raze plays Kalista, he plays Zaya, he's got a huge KDA difference and a huge CS per minute. He's a lot more selfish and he wants to be the carry, whilst Blinky wants to give triple all the resources and hope he carries.
Something else to mention is that Raze is the second highest damage percentage to his team out of all the 80 carries in the OPL.
Who's the top right now?
That would be Lawrence Lost. the guy from Legacy.
Absolutely.
The best player in OPL.
Doing very well.
I don't like that guy.
Spawn
You
called
don't like that guy?
He killed me yesterday.
But the man on the screen there, Raze, was certainly making an argument to being the best player in the OPL early on in this split. But potentially that crown's been taken by Lost now.
I mean, like, I think first 2 weeks he got 2 pentacles.
Yeah, so he's doing all right. All right, this is the AV lineup as we go through it. Their top laner is Series, doing some breathing there. Their jungler is Sybil. Their mid laner is Triple, who has been a carry threat for them all split. Their AD carry is Blinky, and their support player is Jake, who's the OG Janna, I believe. One of them.
Yeah, he's definitely the OG Janna.
They looked pretty chill. They looked pretty relaxed going into
So you got to do this breathing exercise. I know Dywall's a big fan of doing breathing exercise before they go into games.
Yeah, I think breathing exercises is very good for calming yourself down, realizing that you're focusing just on the game, nothing else, clears your mind, and I feel like it's a very good exercise to get yourself into the mood and to try make scrims the same as OPL.
Meanwhile, we can see if their opponents, the Chiefs, are also doing their breathing exercises. Let's go through their lineup, shall we? Their top laner is Swiper. Their jungler is Spooks. Oh, nice gloves today.
Ooh,
very nice.
Stylish.
I'm going to slip off the mouse with them. Swiffer is their mid laner. AD carry is Raze, the perfect player, and eJim is their support player. Matching hair with Destiny. Matching hair. Was your haircut inspired by eJim's haircut?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was inspired.
Support's going dark in
the
hair.
support synergy. We got to stick together.
All right, let me get you guys' predictions before we get into our second match of the day. Destiny, who's going to win this one?
I think the Chiefs will 2-1.
I think AV can take a game.
I think AV can take a game.
They took a
Like
game off you guys.
obviously, yeah, they took a game off us. I feel like Chiefs are bound to make one mistake in this game. In one of these games, and that's just going to give AV a lead, and they'll push forward through their advantages. Especially how the meta's going, they can just put Sarah's on a tank, Sybil on a tank, like the Zac. So I feel like they can take a game.
I think Chiefs 2-0.
Oh.
I think they've had some rough past weeks, but I think they've started to pull it together, and I believe they'll have a clean victory today.
Just to clarify, your head says Chiefs too. What does your heart want though? Your heart? No comment. All right. Well, that is our analysis for this. Let's take a look at your tips at home, opltips.com.au. Chiefs, massive favourites in this one. 88% of people thinking they're going to take it. And only just over half of people think it's going to be a 3-game series, which is quite low. Usually it's up to 70%.
I love the Chiefs. Everything about the Chiefs, I love.
You love them as a brand?
To their brand, I love them.
All right, if you're watching us now and you're a support, please do tweet us your support questions. I will get Destiny and Choo-Choos to answer them during our analyst breaks. But for now, it is time for us to get into our second match of the day as AV take on the Chiefs. With your casters, it is Spawn, Fish, and Carbon.
Thanks, guys. I'm Matt Fishjoy. Joining me is the man who hates the Chiefs himself, Tim Carbon Wendell, as well as Jake Sponsberry, who definitely does not hate them that much. But we're heading into the first match between the Chiefs and AV.
And I want to open this one up with a little bit of a hypothetical, because if Chiefs drop this set, I think it is very safe to say that it is nearly an end of an era. I think that
Ooh, okay.
dropping against Direwolves, acceptable. They were the reigning champions. Legacy right now, your squad, Tim, they're playing pretty well. So you can put that one down as well. But to lose this set against AV, I think would nearly be that nail in the coffin that would be the official, handing over of the reins to the other two big dogs in the OPL at the moment.
Really?
I'm calling it.
I mean,
Alright.
I think you were the one that said it, that you have to give the Chiefs another split
Yeah, I
at
reckon
least.
you're selling him a bit short. I mean, yeah, they could lose this series.
But you can't
They could lose the rest of the series for the rest of the split. Like, if they make the gauntlet and they win the gauntlet, like, what would we be saying then?
Be saying they've won everyone but one.
Exactly right. And then all of a sudden we'll be like, oh, bloody dominant dynasty this, dominant dynasty that. Bloody you're saying that shit now, but I guarantee you, if they make a deep gauntlet run, look, I think you need to give the Chiefs, I'm giving them this split.
All right.
I think if they make a deep gauntlet run, if they come first or second, if they make the final, I don't think it's fair to say Chiefs are done. Chiefs
Heard
are
it here
over.
first from Chiefs Carbon. Legacy Spawn will, of course, keep his own opinion about this game.
What the heck is going on?
I'm a nice guy. What
It's we're
You actually are. You've times have changed.
do you mean? I was always a nice guy.
This is an episode of Stranger Things. We're in the Upside Down right now. I have no idea what you two are
Come on,
talking
mate,
about.
take us through the beds.
It's going to be Cassiopeia, Cassidon, and Thresh banned out by AV, with Renekton, Elise, and Zac being taken away by the Chiefs.
And I know anyone that plays against Swiffer on a regular basis does not like his Cassiopeia. Swiffer
No.
is like a historical grinder of one champion.
He's a sneaky snake.
He is a sneaky
quote Tally
snake.
Wacker.
But he's put a lot of hours into Cassiopeia lately, and he does the finger actions when he's fanging people. But a little bit. Oh,
Hovering
Okay,
the word
so
call.
just for those at home, AV tweeted last week, just before their game, everyone else is playing checkers and we're playing 4D chess. The next day, they locked in Wukong and got absolutely destroyed. So the new meme when AV play is everyone else is playing checkers and we're just playing Wukong top.
Yeah, boy. It's a bit
Solo
of
queue must be a dangerous place for series at the moment. There will be a lot of Wukong hovers going around when they see him pop.
There's a lot of rivalry between these two top laners. Series had an impressive start to split one until he met
Hit list.
Swiper, and then it was all downhill from there.
The hit list. He got shook.
So he's back to this matchup again. Cho'Gath was picked up by the Chiefs with Xayah as the AD carry of choice.
Yeah, Chiefs historically have done a really good job of flexing champions around. I'm sure that a couple of people play this Cho'Gath because we've seen internationally that he can be played in the top lane in the very correct matchups.
Yep.
And then obviously jungle, he's always been one of the quickest clearers, and he does a good job there as well at the moment.
Scales very well as well. I will say that I think in this matchup, Maokai is a little bit of the ganking priority in the sense that Maokai basically has one guaranteed gank that he will get off every game. That one flash W should net you at least summoners pretty much every game, whereas Cho'Gath, much more difficult. It's hard to hit that raw Q. We saw Spooks the other day. He flash silenced into E, which is also a combo you can do, but much more difficult to gank early on the Cho.
Well, AV get a good first draft phase, but Maokai, Corki, and Caitlyn picked up here.
That's bold. I think it's pretty much undisputed that Swiffer is one of those mid laners that you don't want to pick. Like, he's a historical assassin player. It's like the short way of me saying this is he used to play Zed. He plays things like Jace, taking something that is more control without a very strong laning phase. And I don't think Corki's still in that place where he's like OP in the mid lane. I think that's a gauntlet thrown. Obviously, he's responded with Orianna, who's very good, but I think that could have been a lot more dangerous for Triple there.
I kind of like the move. They get rid of the Cass and the Cassidon, the two Casses, and then early pick the Corki. This forces Chiefs to pick mid in the first 3 rotation, because otherwise mids are going to get banned out.
Yep.
Orianna is a safe counter pick. It does decent into the Corki lane. I don't think she wins it particularly hard.
Yep.
As Orianna's
Claire did yesterday, however. Against Fantix. He was shockwaving him off waves.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he was. Yep. That is true. But, I think from an AV perspective, I know when I play against the Chiefs, I'm a lot more comfortable when Swiffer is on Orianna, as opposed to something like the Zed, the LeBlanc,
historically
Talia,
the Fizz.
those kind of roaming ganking champs.
Yep.
And so I think it's a nice move out of AV to try and force Swiffer into a hole. And then the Caitlyn counter pick into the Xayah also makes sense, although we have seen it earlier today not work so well.
That's a lot of support bans coming out from these two teams. Janna and Braum banned out against Jake, whereas Rakan and Alistar taken away from Ejim, with the Thresh banned earlier on in the match.
Yeah, this is really interesting, right? Because you got rid of so much standard. And now Jake is kind of throwing the gauntlet, because Jake has historically played Nami Janna, but he's lately shown that he's got a Taric and things like that. Ejim has a Trundle.
He's got a blind picket here, though.
Yeah.
And Trundle was a champion we saw permanently banned in the series between Legacy and Direwolves. Hasn't made any appearance so far.
I'm going to say Taric. What are you going to say?
Taric? I reckon... I don't know.
Trundle.
Shit, I don't know.
Karma?
No, not Karma. Surely not. Trundle, I reckon, is a decent blind pick. I mean, you could pick Taric. I really don't know, and it doesn't look like AV do either. Trundle, yeah, they're okay. Maokai's going top. We haven't touched on that yet. Sejuani got picked up, which means it won't be Maokai jungle like we've seen only just play, and I played yesterday. So we're gonna see the Sejuani. That is what AV beat Direwolves on when they took their game off Direwolves. Direwolves then banned out the Sedge, and AV promptly lost 2 games. So it looks to me like AV probably got the comp that they were after, whereas Chiefs, well, the Gnar blind is quite good. I think Gnar will win this matchup eventually, once he gets the Frozen Mallet. Cho into Sedge is kind of, they both want to scale. Cho probably scales a bit better in terms of stats because he gets the health from his feast, but Sedge has the extra CC. Mid lane is just going to be a farm fest, and then bot lane, I mean, I want to give the advantage to AV. They got the Caitlyn into the Xayah, and I believe that Trundle was actually pretty good into Taric.
Yeah, decent matchup.
Not 100% on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's Trundle favored. So looks like AV, I would be happy if I was there, if I had their draft.
I mean, regardless of the matchup, it's still just a very dominant champion in any tank meta. It's going to make the resistances get shredded from
Although,
Spooks.
I will say Spooks isn't going to have resistances.
True. He's going to have health.
He'll have health, so that's not going to be of much use. Plus, Swiper's also not going to have resistances because he's going to have a Black Cleaver and a Frozen Mallet. So maybe this Trundle won't do as much work as we thought.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think the other thing that you have to pay attention to is if these team fights are going to go for a long time, and, you know, Corki does have good burst damage that comes out, the Taric ultimate will put in work at the start of these team fights. When all the CC is coming out, when one target should be popped, allowing that to not happen and then continue this big brawl. Still, I think Caitlyn ramps up. Xayah does more damage than Caitlyn, but Caitlyn should be able to successfully get off her damage that she has much more frequently during fights. So I think that it's going to come down to execution, and I think that Taric makes execution-based comps harder to play around, because all of a sudden if you fling a Sejuani ultimate at a Taric ulted person, you can't blow him up.
Yes, I agree that you cannot blow someone up through Taric ult. I think that when you look at the AV comp, they got a lot of CC in the Maokai and the Sedge. They got a big Trundle pillar as well. But that being said, AV's carries actually do sustain damage and not burst.
They do.
So this Sejuani's ult's going to come out. Taric can ult, but I think that AV will continue to do damage after the Taric ult runs out.
Yep. Well, we'll have to see how this match pans out. We're into game number 1 of AV and the Chiefs, and we're on Summoner's Rift. But for now, let's check in with Serianne, who is standing by with the coach of AV, Pinch.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Pinch, the coach from Avant. Just wanted to ask how it's been for you personally, having to prepare for 2 matches in a Super Week.
Sure, it's been interesting. I haven't really done it before. We did most of our preparation during the week for Regicide and then Chiefs in the last couple of days, and we learned a lot from our matches yesterday. So, yeah, it's been a build-up.
Also wanted to ask you why you've given so much priority to Caitlyn after the recent nerfs she's been given. Sure.
Well, we think Caitlyn provides a very linear play pattern on the map, and we think we understand it very well and can play around both sides of the matchup, which is why we're willing to both give and take Caitlyn.
Well, best of luck with the match, and thanks for talking to us.
Thanks so much.
I'm going to give him the congratulations straight away.
Congratulations on the Caitlyn pick.
We haven't even seen each other yet. Interesting comments about Caitlyn's linear playstyle. I do agree. It is very easy. If you get used to how Caitlyn plays out, AKA you just win the lane from draft phase, you take bot tower early through chip, and then you rotate Kate around to take all the outers.
Yep.
It is a very easy way to play the game, and generally pretty successful. Kate's been very strong for a few patches, but I dare say the Chiefs would know that that's going to happen, and we might see some attention from Spooks in the bot lane.
Yeah. Not only that, I think that the problem is that you have to be able to push up to win Caitlyn lanes. That is how she wins the lane, through the push and through getting access to turrets. And that's a high-risk, high-reward play style. Obviously, when it works out, you see 7-minute turrets. You see her rotated around the map everywhere.
Yep.
When it doesn't work out, you see her killed 3 times, go through a massive mid-game trough.
Like the TM game.
Yeah, absolutely not work out at all.
Yep, agreed. Cho'Gath is doing chickens to blue, so he's trying to cheese Sibol. I think this is a good move. Sejuani without blue is going to have some difficulty clearing.
He's going straight there, though, so he's going to get caught.
Well,
See if he does it.
they both have Smite.
Smite, fight.
And
Let's go.
Sibol's got red, so Spooks has to run.
Ooh,
Spooks is in trouble.
He's going to get locked down here. Tries to take a fight.
Okay, top has priority.
Yep.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that. So Nah pushing in the Maokai. Nah will do that in this matchup. And that means that Sibol can't commit to the all-in, even though he has red buff advantage over Cho.
That's nice to watch. Let's see if he goes back in for round 2. Sibol is tracking through potions.
Spooks can't contest this. He shouldn't.
But he is.
They do the dosey-do.
Okay, well, let's see what happens.
So he
going
knows he's
around.
there because he
Sibol,
walked over
yeah.
a ward.
Yeah.
He's going to get jumped on here. So remember, red buff is available for the Sedge. Had a passive up as well. Took no damage there and gets a good chunk onto Sibol. Sorry, onto Spooks, who throws back the Rupture. He's like, get out of this jungle. And this is the longest brawl for a blue buff I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is Spooks has to get it. That's why he's committing so hard. If Spooks doesn't, which he's not, and he's given up, but that is so bad for Spooks. He's only taken his Wraiths, which means that he's not, the respawn time on his camps is going to be so long. His red buff, Sejuani's red buff is going to respawn at like 7 minutes. Cho's not, well, I mean, he hasn't even taken it yet. He might not respawn until 10 minutes.
Yep.
Which means Sedge is going to have 2 red buffs in the time that Cho only has 1. She's also going to get an earlier respawn on Wolves, earlier respawn on the blue buff, earlier respawn. So what this means is that not only is he now a level up, he will remain a level up. In fact, he'll probably go 2 levels up, which means he's going to hit that all-important level 6 earlier, and he's going to have super tempo in this jungle matchup.
Yeah, completely agree. The one thing that I will say is that health potions are probably more valuable to Sejuani than they are to Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath farms much healthier, in fact, than Sejuani. So if he gets any kind of like now invade on the bottom side or catches him out again over like a Rift Scuttler or something like that, could potentially be an interesting fight, but I agree that if these guys just farm up, as the tanks junglers do at the moment, then Sibol has all the tempo advantage in the world.
Sibol going straight for this blue buff. I really like this play. He knows that Cho is behind him in tempo. His bot lane has the priority. They're playing Caitlyn after all, so he's going to use his bot lane to try and secure this blue buff, and if he does, Spooks is going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah, well, Spooks isn't even going to go there. He's going back to chickens.
So he goes for level 2 chickens instead.
Any pathway has absolutely been bamboozled.
Completely outpathed.
Yep.
Completely outpathed. Well, to be honest, he outpathed himself, right? He tried to use his Nars priority to cheese a blue buff away from Sejuani. It didn't work. Sibol did...
it's reset. No, cool.
Sibol did the safe thing in rushing to his blue instead of doing Wolves first, which is more gold efficient, greedier, you could say. So Sibol played it really well, and Spooks kind of got caught with his pants down.
Well, they're going to get a good stun onto the Caitlyn here. No pullback of the feathers yet. Uses the net to get back to safety as well. Good trade from the Chiefs. Both junglers are on the bottom side of the map. Sibol is going to get spotted out here.
Yeah, Sibol's just he's just sitting in their bot side jungle because he knows Spooks has to go there eventually because his camps are up, and also it allows his bot lane to continue to poke under tower without any pressure.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Kind of what Spooks was doing to Sibol on the first blue buff with Nah shoving up.
Yep.
Sibol's just done to him on the bottom side of the jungle, right? He's returned the favor. He said, look, I have a pushing lane as well. Raze and Ejim have been under the turret this whole game, and we're going to punish him for it.
The difference is Sibol got the blue buff.
Yeah, Spooks didn't.
Cho got nothing. And while the CS might look skewed right now, you might be thinking, Tim, what are you talking about? Cho has, 10 extra CS. That's because Spooks has taken 2 rounds of chickens and his golems. Sedge has just taken his golems, and Sibol's about to take his second round of chickens as well, and all of a sudden his CS will jump up.
I do like this out of Spooks though. He's going for an early base pick to the Barney Cinder, so although he is behind Sejuani at the moment, he'll be on the map a little bit longer for now.
That is true. He does have a base on the Sedge, and his time is going to be accelerated. Serious trouble here.
Yeah. Level 6, about to be achieved.
He's got a ward, but he's got no mana. He's in
doing.
trouble.
He's
just going to get flash nard.
Let's see if he goes for it. Swiper's going in.
He's standing next to the wall. He just used his Q.
Oh, that is
And
obnoxious, and he flashed away as well.
Okay.
That's an easy kill picked up by the Chiefs top side of the map, and very poor play from Series.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk... Well, no, I don't.
They're going for a bit of a fight bottom. Blinky's taking a lot of damage from Zaya. Raze throwing in the feathers. Throws in more, rips them back. Doesn't get the root,
trapped in
though.
the creeps here, though.
Good damage coming back from AV. Flash forward stun, everyone going on the same page.
Huge play.
Chiefs bot lane comes
Jake
out
turn it
big.
around, though?
They lock down
He got the
Jake. He's
bonus
trying to get the
AD.
chomps,
Nice.
clubs him down, gets that kill. And the fabulous Tarek can't chase further forward for the troll, but still big play from the Chiefs bot lane.
Certainly is, but in saying that, let's hold my thought because Sybil's down here and Aegim's about to die. Potentially. No, he's going to back away. Good play out of Aegim. What I was going to say is
We've got to pause.
there's an 11 CS lead on the Caitlyn right now, and that wave's pushing back into Kate, so that's going to be about 17, 18 CS fish when Kate gets back to the lane. And Raze, not someone that is used to being down in CS, they gave them this lane. They said, we're going to take Xayah, you can have the Caitlyn. And I think that's, a little bit of overconfidence coming out of the Chiefs in multiple areas of the map. A cheesy invade, cheeky draft, and both of them kind of bit them on the backside.
Yeah, well, I will say for the bot lane that I thought that was a really nice play out of the Chiefs. They committed at the same time really hard. The Ignite winning out over the Exhaust. Ignite a little bit better in lane phase, obviously, true damage. Unfortunately, the Tarek got the kill. So if the Xayah had got the kill and then Trundle cleaned up, that would have been good for the Chiefs. But both supports got the kill, so that's not ideal, especially with the wave pushing back towards AV. Top lane, Series... His radar, his sonar, had no idea the gank was coming. Burns the last of his mana, queuing creeps, which, he wasn't even last hitting them.
Yeah.
The problem I had with that was Series had a ward in the Trobush, so we saw Spooks walk over
But he was on the wrong side of the turret.
on the wrong side of the turret, but then flashes away from the turret. Doesn't do anything to try and keep himself safe. Blows a summoner for no reason.
That is not a happy man on your screen. Don't want to take your attention elsewhere, Fish, but Raze he looks distraught, to be honest.
Well, the perfect player isn't supposed to die.
That is true.
And he calls himself the perfect player.
I mean, you said he's about 11 CS down now with that big winning wave pushing back, and he's going to fall 20, 25 CS behind.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, what I wanted to talk about is Destiny on the desk kind of called Swiper out. Swiper has now solo killed his opponents in back-to-back weeks.
Was that a solo kill?
Well, he was going to solo kill him.
Was he?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
He was dead. Dead to rights.
All right.
Regardless, the Tally one was definitely a solo kill, mate.
That worked out for him.
Yeah, it didn't work out well, but I don't think the games have been Swiper's fault. In fact, if I was going to point a finger at someone from last week...
Do it. Point the finger. Who is it?
Well, I pointed very firmly at Swiffer.
Oh.
I thought that if you pick LeBlanc in a deciding game like that, you have to be able to apply map pressure because you're not going to be able to team fight with her. And I did not think his map pressure was good enough. Claire definitely had his number in that series.
Right.
Actually has had his number in back-to-back series. Timmy, you've picked up a good mid laner there.
Yes, well,
Mr. Brandon.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's been around for a while, obviously, but really having a good split this split, I think. Thought he had a pretty good split the last split as well, but I feel like this split he's kind of elevated his level to what we internally thought he could perform to, and that's been really good to see.
This guy on your screen, though, another mid laner that has been doing very well the past few splits, Triple. It's kind of snuck under a lot of players' radars.
I think Triple's doing good, right? But I watch Triple and I'm like, you shouldn't be a good player.
Yes.
You should be a great player. We should talk about Triple the way we talk about Fantix and Claire. Because he is a very talented individual.
He is.
And I feel like he is a good player right now, Fish. And I think on the right team, with some little tweaks, a little bit of tinkering, like he is a bought engine already. You just need to fine-tune it a little bit. He will be one of the names that we talk about for a very long time.
Yeah, let's see if he is able to do some wonders in this match against Swiffer, because so far that mid lane has been dead even between the Corki and Oriana. We're back onto Summoner's Rift for this match.
All right, well, we'll see who can come back from the pause better. It's not something that's talked about often, but when a game is paused, it's very easy to kind of lose the momentum or the I don't know how to explain
feel
it.
for the game.
Yeah, the way you feel the game is going. And when you're paused and you're put on ice like that and you're not allowed to talk and you're just sitting there just with your own thoughts, it's very easy to forget, like, oh, wait, what was I supposed to do again? What was the game plan? Like, where am I supposed to be? And we'll see which team can come back from the pause better.
How much of that is on the shot caller to try and bring this game back in the way you're meant to play it?
I think it can definitely help having someone who says, like, all right, guys, remember, like, top turret is our objective, so let's make sure that we keep playing with that in mind or whatever. I think that person is important. But at the same time, it's very individual as well. Like, I know, for instance, like, I've had games where I'd say, like, oh, I think the jungler is here, then the game is paused, you're not allowed to talk. 5 minutes later, the game is unpaused, mid laner walks up and just gets instantly ganked, and it's just like, oh, yeah, well, like, yeah, I told you he was there, but also that was 5 minutes ago. So it can be quite difficult when the game is paused.
Yeah.
One thing I want to point out is that even though Spooks fell behind early, he actually beat Sybil to level 6.
Well, he did just get assist, and he pushed the wave in.
Yeah.
So that kill in the top lane, and along with the jungle XP mechanic, has meant that Spooks has gotten himself back in the game. While we see a
About to
package.
die as well.
Package has been expended onto Cho'Gath, so package for a summon spell, definitely worth it. Let's see if Triple can actually pick up the blue buff here. Wants it, gets smited away.
Using the Q for vision, with the Ori speed buff to run in and smite. Nice coordinated play there by the Spooks and Swiffer duo.
Flash for a blue buff. You take that as a jungler?
Yeah. Yeah, I would, actually. In this matchup, I mean, Cho with Flash is not really going to do anything anyway.
Yep.
And you're denying the blue from Triple, and hopefully in a minute's time, they'll be able to secure their own blue for the Orianna, and that's going to give his mid laner advantage. Yeah. So,
also, first package play was completely unsuccessful.
well, force flash.
Yeah, force flash, but didn't get a kill. It's kind of like Twisted Fate Ultimate, like old school TF Ultimate.
Yep.
You kind of get your first two of them, and if you haven't done something with it, it kind of peters out as the game goes.
As he meets Sybil, but Sybil decides to give him some respect. Spooks now level up, picks up some XP from the lane there.
Double buff as well. Just means even though like Sybil has standing camps and will catch up on the XP, Egypt is in trouble.
Egypt no flash.
Great stun though coming out of Egypt.
Walking down.
Knocks down Blinky.
Has ult still, so I think once he gets worried, he'll pop that.
Oh, he's in trouble though. Good damage from Blinky. Flashes for it. Good shield comes back out though, and that stops him from being taken down.
That is flash and heal available, and the Chiefs duo just didn't even blink.
Yeah, they absolutely debated Blinky there.
That is some confidence.
Hey,
They
I
call
think
down
that they
Spooks?
played that to their limits. You hear that a lot, playing to your limit, and I think they absolutely did. If Egypt died there, we would have all been laughing about, oh, why didn't he heal, why didn't he whatever, but the fact that he didn't, and that Blinky flashed, is a huge advantage.
The perfect player only uses the summon spells for himself, man. What are you talking about? But he's done well in the bottom lane. Him and Egypt are working together very well this split. We saw there was a lot of lack of communication between the two of them when they first got on the same team.
Sybil is
Doing well
desperate to make his impact felt at the moment, and he's just not getting anything done.
Series is in trouble.
He's just chased Swiffer out of mid lane, and Swiffer has just ran straight top as a result.
Salta has been thrown out by Series. He jumps back onto Swipe, but actually gets good damage. He will bounce away though and picks up a kill in the top lane.
Another solo kill. That one was a joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Insane.
That was a
How
joke.
is he so good? No, that is actually hilarious. Sybil runs mid, threatens to gank Ori. Swiffer says, all right, see you, mate. I'm just going to walk topside river, and I'm just going to keep walking and kill your top laner.
Fourth rotation.
That is that's a Swiffer gank I've ever seen one.
But interestingly enough, going boots 2 on Orianna, we were talking about a different mid laner that valued movement speed on Orianna a lot. Obviously, if Orianna can get access of multiple spell rotations through cooldown reduction, which is why it's so important on her, as well as movement speed, obviously the shockwave looks great when it hits, but her consistent damage through things like Leandries, and back in the day, Leandries' Rylai's was a big combo on her, was really potent. And I like the fact that Swift has picked that up against Corki. A lot of the damage that comes out is skill shots.
Yep.
Be able to dodge out a bit.
And that's such a Swiffer thing to do as well. Swift is so good at moving around the map. I think having that extra move speed early in the game really allows him to have an impact, which he's done. And I think that's one of Chiefs' win conditions. When you look at Chiefs as a team, when they're playing really well, you're seeing Swiffer move around the map, making those picks unexpectedly.
Have you guys ever... that's a weird question.
Maybe are going for a weird gank here. They did ping out the wards that they've placed down for teleports, which Series still has.
You and Swiffer would have had to have had a beer one night and just theorized of what the Carbon and Swiffer duo would have looked like.
We are All-Stars last year in Barcelona, as we see an all-in.
Hang on, they're going for a fight. They're moving further forward with teleports coming down as well for Swiper. The sunglasses came off for Ejima Rays, but it's not enough. Where's Swiper?
He got trapped on a tap.
Yeah, got stuck on a trap, but still Naza back. J Control, Blinky taken down very
Series
low. Flash
cancelled.
forward, Rays gets taken down, and they stun up Jake as well. Double kill picked up by Swiper.
That obviously is a team call, so you can't blame Series for it. They obviously said, we are out, you don't need a TP, get some of the CS back. But unfortunately, Swiper gets 2 more kills and is now 4-0-0 and is up 30 CS, and he's having a game for himself. They're going to even maybe break the turret 13 minutes in. That's a big deal for the Chiefs bottom lane.
Yeah, this is a big Swift game. This is we were or the desk we weren't.
Nah,
the desk
definitely
was,
not us.
the desk was questioning where is Chiefs in the tank meta. This is supposed to be their meta. Yada yada yada. Pull cleanse burned.
Yeah, and that's
Sybil
an
has
exhaust.
ult.
Good flash.
Yeah.
Sybil gets out, but he's still being chased down.
Got
Red
him.
buff
Got
as
him.
well as the stun. Smacks him with the ice. Sybil gets a kill mid lane.
Okay, Swiffer trying to... Swiffer sees a 4-0 swiper and he thinks, hang on, I'm supposed to be the carry. Let me kill my lane.
Why
I
don't you
can't let
teleport to
Spawn
mine?
roast me on broadcast anymore. Need to do something.
No, look, okay, bit overzealous by Swiffer. I think he just got a little bit hyphy. Saw all the kills going down. I thought, I want to get involved. Sybil finally gets on the map, gets a score on the board. He's looking at this Rift Herald solo right now. I don't think that they're going to contest, so nice little pick up.
That was another questionable play by Blinky or Jake bottom lane. Didn't disengage. Sybil didn't help them out with the disengage either.
Well, Blinky didn't have flash because he had burnt it earlier trying to kill the Tarek, who didn't burn any summoner spells escaping. So you can kind of see how League works, right? A small thing happens here, and it changes how something else happens later. So yeah, it's just one of those things where the Chiefs are just playing a little bit better, Micro's a little bit cleaner, and AV getting punished for it.
Definitely agree with that, because the idea was exactly the same. I mean, mid laners were there. Ooh, Triple in some big trouble here.
Taking a lot of damage. Swiffer's getting a few auto attacks down. Flash is available for the Corki. Speed up comes up for Orianna. Forces the flash out of Triple.
So he must have used the package, like he must have valked in, and then used the second valk already.
Big double stun coming out of the Egypt.
flash
Locks him
Sybil,
down. Ultimate gets
Eden
thrown out
blocking
very early and
Nice.
will stop him from charging over the wall. Spooks gets that kill.
Very nice by Ejim there. Doesn't let him queue over the wall. Series is getting pummeled.
Swiper doing his best turret impersonation by standing attack and auto attacking Series.
He is actually so far ahead that Series is burning ultimates to run away from the mini nut. This is the stage of the game where you would if you could never turn Mega in a laning phase, you would.
Yeah.
Because he's just so damn frustrating. The movement speed, the hyper procs that come out, obviously shredding through that percentage health damage. As Magic, it's not a like Vayne, which is the true damage, but still you can see how much punishment it's giving, and it's a 2,000 gold lead purely on the top lane.
Yeah, and we're also starting to see, I think, a bit of a theme today, and that is Caitlyn's who lose their tower early because Blinky and Jake are just stuck, well, they were stuck under their tower. They can't really put pressure on. They're not getting any chip on the Chiefs' tower.
I mean, Caitlyn's always been great at poking someone out of lane, great at sieging turrets, but never great in those small skirmishes very early on to the match. She used to struggle against kill lanes.
So her biggest strength is her worst weakness. Her biggest strength is she gets you access to turrets. Unfortunately, her 90 caliber net may well not exist in a lot of support matchups.
It's not even an escape. I actually think it's just a damage spell.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually useless as an escape.
Because it's so interruptible.
Yeah.
And you could see that with the traps, Swiper was good enough to buffer his jump when he came out, so the trap didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And with all of that in mind, I mean, you have to push up to play Caitlyn well.
Series in
Spooks
trouble
is
here.
going to kill Series maybe. No, misses.
Misses the
That's
blind,
a whiff.
The blind Q should have hit that. Although I think he maybe didn't have vision of Series. That's also a
Oh,
possibility.
Boomerang connected there. If not, Series could have been out.
Second
Uses the
miss.
flash.
Just hasn't got his eye in yet.
Spooks Q.
Spooks you. Oh, come on. We can't ruin Shogas for him as well. We already took the Verdsley sit away.
Yeah, no, look, this Nara in the side lane, he's on his way to a frozen mallet, and once he has it, Maokai is not going to be in a good way. I think Swix must have heard them talking shit on him on the desk. He's absolutely turned it on this game.
Yeah, it's 38 CS up, and when you only have 150 of it, he's got a fifth more CS than him. He's got the 4 kills.
Series has sacked himself as well, I think, with his build. He's just gone, look, okay, I'm going to be completely useless in this lane, guys. I'm just going to build a Righteous Glory. Hopefully we can catch someone out, maybe. So, selfless act by him. But
top.
I guess he also could have just won his lane.
So Riptail's being thrown top.
TP is available, no wards though, Fish.
Cho'Gath was making his way up, decides to move towards mid lane, and pings are going out to mid lane outer, as well as bottom lane inner, which Swiper is currently sieging.
It's a good play.
Good play, yep. Got their first tower. The problem is that normally in this situation you would say Kate is unlocked, but the tower is down and she doesn't really have anywhere to go, especially if this mid-tier 1 falls, which it is.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. The Chiefs actually say we're going to trade, and when you're ahead, you generally don't want to trade even, but a mid lane turret for an outer turret is very heavily in favor of the mid lane turret. Gives access to the rest of the map. We've already said that one of Swiffer's strength is his macro, how he positions around Summoner's Rift. Now that that turret's gone down, it's going to allow Spooks to help him shove out even further, and as a duo, they can start disappearing into Fog of War.
Yep. Here we go. Here's that Righteous Glory.
Chasing him down. We'll get the root. He flashes very early, bringing Series to the turret. Ultimate thrown out. That's a dead mini Nah.
Big shutdown.
Big shutdown coming out for Series.
Massive shutdown, and the wave was being jockeyed up by Blinky as well, so the Bash Bros rotate into a lane.
Whether or not they lose this mid-wave. which it looks like they I think Corki might get there, but they need to get this bot tower, and I don't think they are going to because they're leaving Kate alone there. But I think they needed to get that tower because they've now traded a shutdown, which is a lot of gold. It's more gold than a tower. The max shutdown bonus, which I think is 400 gold.
Yep.
Oh, no, they do get the tower. Very nice. So this is a really good play by AV there. They swing the gold back about 800 in their favor.
Yep.
Stop the
That's what I was
bleeding
going
as
to
well.
say. It's back actually about 1,000 gold. It was about a 4,000 gold lead in a matter of 2 minutes with a nice play on the top lane with the Rift Herald that Sybil had used his tempo advantage for to secure.
Yep.
They're able to claw it back within 1,000.
Yeah, it's given Blinky some time to buy some items. He's got his static shiv as well as components for an Infinity Edge. I mean, Caitlin well and truly comes to line at the 3-item mark, but even just with IE static shiv, she does all right.
Yeah, I think IE static shiv Zeal, she's okay. And then when she gets rapid fire, she's good.
Caitlin?
Yeah.
She's yeah, with the Shiv, it's like, okay, now I can clear waves. I can use auto Q wave dead, auto Q wave dead. So she can now stall out the game a lot easier. When she has that IE finished, it's like her first auto will hurt. She hits you with the crit headshot static shift proc. Like that will still hurt, but really that's all her damage unless you start walking onto traps. So it's Caitlyn's going to be a while before she's online, and AV's job is going to be trying to not lose the game before that.
Ooh, 90 Carbon
There
net
you
doesn't
see that,
save
the
Blinky,
net go.
and good night!
The best escape spell in the game right now, as you can see.
The net.
And well, with that, I mean, you got a Cho'Gath. That's an instant Callista. They're going to look to pick this Baron up.
So
See
we
whether
just
they can go for it.
one-shot him
That's
through
a
heal.
very early Sejuani ults.
Alta's come out from Egypt though, puts the sunglasses on
Swiffer's
through
dead.
his team. Oh no, Baron just
turn
destroys
this.
Swiffer.
Yep.
And AV trying to turn around. Raze pops the ultimate, will flash
hang
away. But Spruce has got a good kill onto Series. Double Gnar coming up from Swiper, and they chain
What
stun
a
the
killer.
Corki. Corki in so much trouble. Egypt trying to stay alive. Swiper slams the ground but misses, chucks a boulder Sybil's way. Raze though getting good damage in the back lines and still is a good trade for the Chiefs.
Yeah, so the Chiefs still win the team fight, but that pillar from Jakey actually just saved Triple's life.
Yep.
It meant that no one could get within auto attack range. The pillar's slow is so big when you're actually on top of it. And Swiper, because Mega Gnar is just a huge character model, couldn't navigate that team fight. Like, really interested to see what happens to Swiffer here, because the team kind of sack him at the back of the Baron pit.
Gets hit by the Maokai root, and he's taking the Baron.
He
So you
doesn't
see a
get...
fantastic pillar at the start, takes the Maokai route, and he's got nowhere to go. Now, I thought that AV were going to clean this fight up, and then I remembered that Swiper was 4-1, and he's just gigantic. And
Yep.
he
Look at
carries
this,
this team
though.
fight. You can look how low their backline was before they start live stealing. Swiper, one man carries this fight. They managed to pull it back. Was a very nice pillar. Yeah, that's that big Gnar. He's got his Frozen Mallet finish now, so we're going to see some huge pressure in the side lane.
Egypt flashing now absolutely roasts Swiffer. Doesn't give him the invulnerability that would have kept him alive in that fight.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate.
Trail. Oh, here we go. Righteous Glory.
Little kitty cats are trying to chase him down. Swiper going to turn Mega, jumps straight on top of Triple.
okay.
Wants to gnar him back, but it's not enough.
Okay. A little bit nervous there for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, he took a lot of damage, but at the same time, wasn't in any real danger unless the Mega Gnar came out into a wall.
This is
That's optimistic.
Ooh, okay.
Baron play. Let's see if it's going to be enough.
Okay,
Just
so they
make his
read
way
it.
over. Half health. Good start from AV. Let's see if they turn or if they try to burn. Blinky getting hit by that Rupture, taking a lot of damage. Sybil is still on the
Staying
Baron.
on it.
Still tanking it.
Oriana's going to hit a big ultimate here.
Oh,
She misses.
misses it. Now AV could definitely look to Ida burn on top. But Swiffer
never
jumps in and deletes Triple from this fight. Blinky's going to be next. He tries to flash away. You're not going anywhere. Raze gets a kill for himself. Sybil's forced to jump out, and Sirius is flashed over the wall. Now the Chiefs, they want this Baron.
Yeah, exactly right. So all of a sudden, the Chiefs turn a team fight with the Shockwave down. Triple thought he could approach, but unfortunately, Swiffer just has a lot of damage on the QE combo. Thunderlords was still available, and they do pick it up. But this game, I mean, it's 6,000 gold league. Chiefs are playing well, but it's not crisp League of Legends. And that's something the Chiefs used to pride themselves on.
Yeah. Look, I think that Swiper getting caught, I thought, I was going to start explaining that it's a pretty big problem because he has a huge lead. He needs to be putting pressure on, and AV are just managing to stifle him and draw the game out. The problem here is that they've just burned all their ults killing the Gnar.
Yeah.
And so they can't really turn because Sybil, I don't think, oh no, Sybil did have ult. But Maokai doesn't have ult. And so when Ori missed, they had to turn, but it's too late. There's no front line to protect their carries because they're both on the Baron. Maokai doesn't have his ult for the long range engage. I think Sybil used his at the very end just to live, so all in all, pretty poor Baron from them.
And that's
nice
strange, because the reason that you used to play double tanks was so one can stay on Baron, and the other one can be the tank outside of the pit that was like kind of zoning and kind of frontlining for you. Whereas what happened is they had both their carries.
Still a solo mission.
Razor does not care. It's like, fight me, you stupid ball. Throws out the ultimate as well. Rips the feathers back.
Good shame.
Another kill on the Sybil.
I mean, it looked worse than it was. That's what happens when a tank fights an 80 carry and doesn't have enough damage to kill him. The 80 carry just starts hitting him.
And they say thanks to the rotation bot, we'll take this bottom lane inner. The rest of our team will work on mid lane inner as well. Super gets stunned up by Sirius. He does not care. Righteous Glory has been popped. Shockwave pulls the Maokai back. Ignite is ticking from the turret. He goes back in, tries to heal up. He can't. Now Triple wants to Valk forward as well. Almost getting taken down by the stun.
It's a quick way to lose the game.
Yep.
Just 2 solo missions there.
I mean, that's what you said, right? If you're losing, you might as well do something.
Well,
as a team, you should do something.
Yeah, as a team, you should do something. You shouldn't just run it down. That's not the thing to do.
Ooh, jumping forward. There's a flash being thrown as well. Sybil wants to go for the re-engage. Big
that's a
nah
big
from
nah.
Swiper. Locks down the backlight. It's going to be the Corki taken down straight away.
Look how
Triple's
much
in
damage
trouble.
he does.
Blinky is trying to run to his fountain. Swiper doesn't even allow him to get there. Double kill picked up, making Jake's life hell as well. And that's going to be the Chiefs. 25 minutes into the match, charging towards the Nexus. The sunglasses come down for the team. They're onto the final turret. That's gone down. AB put up a last stand, but it doesn't look like there's anything they can do. The Chiefs just want even more kills. They kill Series off his fountain as well, slowly battering away at the Nexus, and this will be game one going to the Chiefs.
They certainly are. They're still going for it. Oh, he died.
The perfect player gets taken down on the fountain, but Chiefs pick up game one.
I mean, I said it wasn't the cleanest game from the Chiefs, and then they've absolutely whooped their bum in 25 minutes.
Well, yes. I think that was on track to be about a 30-minute game, and then they kind of just got a couple picks and super accelerated it. I am curious to see what Mitch has to say on the desk about Swiper's performance there. That was a huge gnar at the end as he walks into the room with a smile on his face.
Big grin on his face. But, I mean, that was kind of a confusing game. The early invades, I guess because of the Gnar priority. Then a couple of... you know, not respecting...
Yeah, camera.
Certainly is. Not respecting side lane pressure out of Corki. I mean, Corki's got a much better rotation than Orianna, and that caught Swiper out a couple of times.
Yep.
There were some things, but all in all, I mean, 25-minute win, you have to play well for that to happen, and I think the Chiefs would be happy with that victory.
Absolutely. I think Swiper obviously played really well.
Yeah.
They had that huge TP in the bot lane.
I think Aegon played well as well.
Yeah, I think
maybe
Bryce had a
another
good game.
slumping member previously on the Tarek, new champion.
Yeah, Bryce. I hate giving Bryce compliments, but I think he played pretty good. No, look, yeah, Sybil had the early advantage. I spoke so much about this advantage that Sybil had, and then Spooks just ran top, killed Ceres, and then they killed him again with Orianna.
Yep.
And then Sybil just couldn't really find a way into the game. His comp wanted to scale. His bot lane wanted to chip the bot tower, but just none of that happened.
Nothing happened.
I don't think I've ever seen a man struggle to give a team more compliments than Carwin has, giving the Chiefs a compliment after their victory.
Mate. Get us out of here.
Send it back to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much. The Chiefs taking that first game 1-0. And Destiny, I believe you have some hats to eat or whatever the humble pie is, etc., etc.
Shout out to the Armored Titan. He hard carried that one. Big Swips is back. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. I'm sorry Jake spawned Tiberi. But now we're going to jump ship and go to Asteroid Ceres. That's where we're going.
Because, absolutely, because Ceres... I mean, he was underperforming in that game as well as Swiper kind of popping off. So that top lane matchup, I mean, is it a counter pick thing? Is it the draft? I mean, what's happening there?
I think it's a bit of both because Gnar naturally just pushes in Maokai and he's really good because whenever Maokai tries to auto and tries to push, Gnar pushes him faster because he's ranged. He can just hit him whenever. And I feel like the Maokai-Gnar matchup needs jungle attention. And Sybil decided to trade sides and play bot side and ditch the Maokai, but he wasn't getting anything for it. So I think the reason why Ceres played bad was a bit of both. I feel like half the times he could have backed off and just missed a wave, but at the same time, Sybil never really did much on the map this game.
Sybil spends a lot of time bot lane. He kind of wasted a lot of opportunities. I kind of want to not bully Ceres too much because Orianna Swiffer had mid lane priority the entire game. So he did get a lot of opportunity to threaten Ceres top. So the 2 times that he did die were essentially Cho'Gath came and roams and ganked him, which was normal, except the second death was just a good play by Swiffer. So in that retrospect, I don't want to bully this guy too much.
Sure. No, we're not bullying him. We're just talking about bullying. It's not bullying.
Oh, you guys said like, oh, he played really bad. And
I said
like,
the guy,
the guy had a bad matchup. Like he did what he could, and then he got rotated on a dove. And
You're so sympathetic, Choo-Shoes. Backstage, he's very different.
Yes,
I will say,
very.
off camera, he's just mouthing off the whole time. Gets on camera, he's like, "Oh, everyone's playing well." Whatever, mate. What? I'm kidding. All right, let's talk about this Chiefs spotlight. We talked about Rays going in to this game and saying, look, he is a contender for one of the best AD carries in the league, and we saw that early game from him. Choo-Choos.
Yeah, Zaya, like Quinn's Zaya is the two champions. Is the champion that he's got his 2 pentacles on. It starts off by having a nice Tarek ult into a nice root on Jakey. Sybil comes with a flank, but then both top laners come in with their TPs. And then Swiper makes a really nice flash engage here into a 2-man Gnar ult, and then they're able to clean up Blinky, and they're able to finish off Jakey. But the biggest thing that I'd like to acknowledge is Spooks' cancel of Seri's TP. If he didn't do that, you'd think that that play would have gone very different.
Yeah, completely agree. I think if the TP did come out, I feel like Ceres could have cleaned up there potentially. I do have to give some credit to Blinky and Jake because in the early game they actually had a 20 CS lead, but it is Caitlyn into Zaya. Caitlyn naturally shoves in Zaya in the early game, but I also have to shout out Ejim because I felt like even though they were behind early, he hit some pretty damn good stuns that game.
Yeah.
You could tell that they've been playing this comp for a fair bit, and his flash stuns were on point today.
But we saw Tarek yesterday a little bit. Tarek's coming. Why is Tarek coming back into meta as the resident support on the desk? What? I find him annoying. I don't like him. Why is he coming back?
Tarek is a very annoying champion because you have to play around his ultimate. It gives his team invulnerability for 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
And they can't damage them at all, and they have to kite back, sit back, and they can't do anything.
But it just ruins every rhythm of a team fight.
Yeah, it does.
Gets that ult off, and you're like, well, I don't know what to do now. My lizard brain can't deal with it.
You have to kill them before the ult comes out, or it's just no good. I think Tarek's strong at the moment because he has easy matchups. The early priority, the last pick Trundle instead of the Tarek on AV, I was a bit questionable. But then I realized that they picked Kate Trundle because Trundle has a better early game than Tarek, and they wanted to shove them in. They did do that, but it just didn't work out because the Chief bot lane just outplayed them.
Yeah, I think Tarek's also in matter, just not only because he's a tank, but when you have 3 tanks in a team comp, and then you usually have a control mage and then your AD carry, Tarek's invulnerability can nullify that control mage's damage output, and that can turn the team fight.
And one of the things we were talking about, I know backstage, and you were interested to know, I've got this info for you now. One of the reasons Blinky in that bot lane was able to get such a huge lead in CS would have been the runes he was running. So let me run you through it. He's running 9 marks attack damage, 9 seal armor, 6 glyphs of attack speed, 3 glyphs mana regen, and then 3 quints attack speed. So he's running a lot of attack speed runes there. Yeah. And you were saying as we're watching it, it looks like he's shooting quite quickly on Caitlyn.
Let's get them onto tower. Just push them onto tower. Like you saw, like 72 CS to 46.
Yeah,
and you could just see that they played that lane really well. Like there's a lot. I like to give a lot of credit to how they utilized the Caitlyn Trundle and were able to like maintain bot priority for Sybil to rotate and give him that option.
Yeah, definitely. I actually like the AV draft because they have a lot of zone control with the Sejuani stuns, the Trundle pillars. You saw it at Baron where they could just use the pillar, use the Maokai. They have a lot of crowd control and they can burst it with the double threat of Corki and Caitlyn. And yeah, I felt like, here's the replay right now. So Chiefs go for a 20-minute Baron, but they do not have they don't have the damage to do it. And the Maokai ult kills Swiffer, the snipe from triple, and then it's a 4v4. And Zaya ultimate. Zaya ultimate ruins the game. Big Swips hits a huge ultimate in the back. And that pillar saves Triple's life. That was a very good pillar from Jake.
Just the E. Quinn's E does. I think Quinn's E does more damage than other E's.
That's what I was about to say. I don't know what it is, but when that guy plays Zaya, something's different. He knows something we don't.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's bring up the draft because I want to talk about that. If Chiefs are going to first pick Cho'Gath, is Trundle just there as a last pick to kind of shred those tanks, or what's going on there with the Trundle pick?
It's like what Tim said, that Cho'Gath, when you pick Trundle, you pick it into someone who's going to build resistances.
Yeah, Cho'Gath
doesn't build resistances. Neither did the Gnar.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Tarek does build a lot of armor, but you generally pick Trundle to shred a jungle tank or a top lane tank. But but as you said, they picked Trundle for the lane, and it did work well for them.
Yeah, I think they did have to play for lane, especially when they're coming up across Raze and Ejim. They sort of did pick for the lane, but it didn't pay off because late game, even though they had the lead, they didn't do anything with it, and they just got outplayed. So once they fell behind with that lane, it was pretty hard for them to come back, and then the map sort of exploded when they had a lead in all 3 lanes.
You know what's interesting as well about this draft? Look at the Chiefs bans. The first 3 bans out of them are Zach, Elise, and Renekton. That says to me that they see Sybil's jungling as a threat. Now, the third ban to series on Renekton, is that because they think he can pop off on Renekton, or is it Renekton is his comfort pick, we want to force him onto something he doesn't want to play?
I think it's comfort.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the early weeks, you can see Ceres. Ceres' good performances have been on Renekton. His rocky games have usually not been on that champion, so they definitely thought coming into this game, we get him off Renekton, we get a good matchup, we get Nah into, hopefully we can put him on a tank. He played the Maokai, like quite a strong champion in the current meta, and you can see Swiper completely took over that lane.
Yeah, I actually really liked Chiefs bans. I think it was very smart to ban out Sybil, Zach, and Elise, his 2 best champions.
He's so good on them.
Yes, and especially when Zach in mid lane versus Swiffer is the best thing you can get because he has so many ganking opportunities. He doesn't need the bushes to actually hit the crowd control. So, and just with the Renekton ban, Renekton can self-sustain. He doesn't need help. He can pressure and get farm. So I think that's why they banned Renekton, as well as a comfort.
Yeah.
A lot of that damage from the Nah is from laning phase, though.
Yeah.
I would like to acknowledge that. Yeah.
Go forward, Zero. He
had a good performance, but a lot of that damage did come from him really just pushing his lane mismatch, and yeah, it was a really good game by Swiper.
I'm not doubting Swiper ever again. I will not question Jake Spawn Tiberi. He had more damage than Raze. That's crazy.
One more thing I'd like to acknowledge is Swiffer on Orianna.
Thought it was good?
His flash QW that killed Corki at the second Baron won them the game. Other mid laners, I always harp on about flashing forward or, you know, flashing early. Like he knew that his QW would do that much damage, and he was able to make that pick before that team fight, and that just makes him such a good mid laner.
All right, well, we can't move on without looking at this top lane matchup in specific. I want to see some stats as we bring them up on your screen because, I mean, 7-2-4 from Swiper up against the KDA of 1-5-3 from Series, and almost doing, I think, close to triple the damage there. So, I mean, look, that's an unfortunate matchup, but we have seen a lot of teams are playing Maokai just for those wombos.
Yeah, I think that the draft from Chiefs was very smart, just because even before this game, they knew they were going to put Ceres on a tank. Considering his performance against ZZZ yesterday, I think they were going to ban him off the carry champions for a bit. So
that's another thing, actually. The fact that they're coming in off a game against Regicide yesterday, and Pinch said it in the interview, look, we were preparing a lot against Regicide. I mean, that's no good when you've got to spend half your week preparing against one team, and then you've got to face Chiefs. I mean, obviously Chiefs are playing 2 games as well this weekend, but you know what I mean. It's rough.
It's hard to prepare for multiple teams, and you don't have a day to practice or change your plan. Once you've set your plan for your week, you have to sort of stick to it because it's really hard to change and adapt if you're playing the same style and you have different win conditions, different lane assignments, and I felt like Chiefs came into this game very smart, very methodical, and I think it will be a 2-0. Now that I've seen that game, I'm going to change my prediction.
Switch it over?
Yeah, Aaron Chuchu's blend is never wrong.
Swiper's pretty good, isn't he?
Swiper's Armored Titan's pretty good. Blue Sword duo.
Absolutely. Join the Blue Sword cult. All right, let's take a look at this tweet on #I'mOPL. As a support, how do you deal with supporting an overly aggressive ADC, especially early? #support headaches. That comes from @WimDunker. And, I mean, you would know about playing with an overly aggressive AD carry.
Yeah. I play with
King likes to fight.
Yeah.
He plays with King.
I'm going to take a tip out of Immortals Ole's book. Roam. Do not stay in your lane. I hope you saw that video on Reddit, my friend, but if you don't like your AD carry and you don't think he'll carry the game, go gank mid lane. Go gank top lane.
Bail.
Yeah, just ditch him. If there's a wave crashing under your tower, you can just run around the map and try influence, help the other lanes, and
just take that first tower and then just bail, I reckon.
Yeah, just ditch him. Just let him be. If he's not being a good teammate, don't worry about him.
Chuchus, do you have a slightly more sympathetic view on the matter, or?
No, match his aggression. Don't roam, stay in lane, dive tier 2s.
Tier 2s.
All in.
All right, the second tweet has come in on hashtag IamOPL, and this one comes from at lol iridescence. As a low elo support, finding it almost impossible to climb, what is the best low elo support that's not Soraka? Oh, so what's an easy, I guess this is for me as well. What's an easy brain dead champion I
have
can play in
been
support
waiting
role?
all day for this question. All right, Janna. Janna is the answer.
Yep.
All right,
Really?
take gold per 5 Quinn.
Majias, Janna.
Darkseal, Majias.
Dark Seals, Majias, Janna.
Yeah.
Right,
So
that's
what
the
are you
answer.
saying? You're taking gold quints as well?
All right, so gold per 5 Quints, gold per 5 Seals, armor marks, and ability power glyphs, and then you rush. You get the warding item, the ancient coin. You build that first, and then you get ardent sensor, and that is OP. You will get so much gold from your coin and your runes that you have an ardent sensor within like the first 15 minutes of the game, and you can just sit back and press E and just ult people. So yeah, that's the how to gain elo. I hope to see some Jannas in solo queue tonight.
Chishus, do you agree with that? Have you theory crafted this? That's a lot of gold going into
No.
Janna.
I played with Carbon and Minky Whale, and whenever we get off roll to support, I'm telling you, Majia's first item Janna. Just as you said, stay back, press E, and you'll be at 25 stacks.
All right. Well, there you have it. You should buy that champ and build gold per 5 quints on it, and then just go some sweet E's from the back. All right. Well, that rounds out our analysis of our first game. Chiefs taking it 1-0 over AV, but do not go anywhere because we'll be back with game 2 right after these highlights.
Jake control, Blinky taken down very
Series
low, flash
cancelled.
forward, Raze gets taken down and they stun up Jake as well. Double kill picked up by Swiper. Raze pops the ultimate, will flash away, but Spruce has got a good kill onto Series. Double Gnar coming up from Swiper, and they chain stun the Corki. Corki in so much trouble. Egypt trying to stay alive. Swiper slams the ground but misses, chucks a boulder Sybil's way. Raze though getting good damage in the back lines and still is a good trade for the Chiefs.
Yes, Oriana's going to hit a big ultimate here.
Misses it. Now AV could definitely look to item, but Swiffer jumps in and deletes triple from their spy. Blinky's going to be next. He tries to flash away. You're not going anywhere. Raze gets a kill for himself. Sybil's forced to jump out, and Sirius is flashed over the wall. Now the Chiefs, they want this back. Big Gnar from Swiper locks down the back lines. It's going to be the Corki taken down straight away. Triple's in trouble. Blinky is trying to run to his pound, and Swiper doesn't even allow him to get there. Double kill picked up, making Jake's life hell as well. And that's going to be the Chiefs. 25 minutes into the match, charging towards the Nexus. The sunglasses come down for the team. They're onto the final turret. That's gone down. AV put up a last stand, but it doesn't look like there's anything they can do. The Chiefs just want even more kills. They kill Series off his fountain as well, slowly battering away at the Nexus, and this will be game 1 going to the Chiefs.